welcome to another episode of Life of a Gunner podcast. My name is Faithfulness, and thank you for tuning in to this episode. And for today, I'm going to be talking about the Arsenal versus Shakhtar Donetsk Champions League game. First of all, I just want to say that I'm glad we got the 3 points. Like, no matter how we got the 3 points, I'm sincerely glad that we got the 3 points. I feel like this win is a good, it's a good thing to take away after our Bournemouth defeat. And I don't think we should dwell too much on how we have played today. I mean, as you can see, the team looks depleted. That's just the truth. We still have Odegaard injured. We have Saka injured. We have Tomiyasu. Even Ben White, I think he's not fully fit because the way he played that first half was not the Ben White that we know. We have Timber not fully fit. So instead of ranting about the kind of haram football that you watched today, I think you should be more focused on the fact that we got the 3 points. I think that's what's more important. In the Champions League, we have not conceded any goal this season, and that's 7 points from 3 games. So I think that's actually impressive. I can understand the sentiments. I can understand the fact that you are used to Arsenal playing free fluid football, but we'll get there. And for this game, we're going to review this game. And first of all, let's talk about the lineups. That lineup to me was bold, and that lineup just shows that Tata does not actually really care about what we think on social media. Him starting the likes of Trossard, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz together means he had to take off Merino. Like, he has to sacrifice the midfielder. And just on the record, I am not a big fan of seeing Havertz in the midfield. I think it has never worked. And in as much as Arteta does everything possible to try and accommodate, I'm not saying, I don't think it is to accommodate Havertz. I think it's just to ensure that Havertz plays, because the truth is that I can actually understand why Arteta would play Havertz in any game. Although it has cost us a couple of times when he plays him in the midfield. But I can understand why you want someone like Havertz to be in your team 24/7. So I don't like the fact that Havertz sometimes has to be accommodated in the midfield, because I feel like we can do better. But today we saw the likes of, I think, Trossard also dropping back to the midfield. We saw Gabriel Jesus. Well, for Gabriel Jesus, I mean, there's a lot to say, but there's a lot I should not say about Gabriel Jesus. I think it's better we don't talk about Gabriel Jesus for now. And I'm not trying to drag him or anything. Gabriel Jesus is an experienced player, and we brought him in, because we felt he's going to be like a great addition to the team. But the past couple of seasons now, he has not proved that. That's just the truth. Sometimes he doesn't play like an experienced player. Like, things I feel like maybe someone like Martinelli would do is what Gabriel Jesus does. And it's just, it's worrying. I think it's worrying. It's worrying because Gabriel Jesus is a leader in the group. And when he's not performing, you see that it shows. It shows in the way he plays. It shows in the way he reacts. So, I don't know. For me, I just feel like there's a lot to say, but it should not be said about him. Let's just quickly go to the player ratings for today's game. There's a lot to be said about the game, but I think we should not talk about it, because the haram football that was played, if we start trying to dissect why the game was the way it was, we will lose sight of the fact that we actually got the 3 points of the game. Okay, for me, for Raya, he didn't have much to do, to be very honest. He actually did not have much to do. I mean, when you have the likes of Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes in front of you, what exactly do you do? And he looked jittery a bit initially. He didn't have much to do. And for me, I give him a 7, because at the ending of the game, he made crucial saves. And those saves are what actually gave us the 3 points. He's actually a contender for the man of the match for me. But David Raya gets a 7. Also, I just noticed something, that when I watched David Raya during the international break, his ball distribution was interesting to see. Like, the way he distributed the ball in those games. But in Arsenal, it takes like a different tone. I don't know if it's Arteta's style of play or Arsenal style of play, but I feel like he doesn't get to distribute the ball as well as he does when he plays for his country. I don't know if I'm just making a big deal out of it, but I think it's just something that I've noticed. Overall, Ryan has been wonderful this season. I mean, the first couple of games this season, he actually saved us like a lot. The Tottenham game, the Aston Villa game, like even our first Champions League game, where he saved the penalty. So I think Raya has been awesome this season. But that ball distribution that one of the reasons why we felt he was better than Ramsdale is something that I feel like he needs to hit the ground running on that. But aside that, I think Raya has been very impressive this season. And the next person we're going to talk about is Ben White. So Ben White played only the first half of this game, and like I said, it feels like he's not fully fit. So I give him a 6 because there were a couple of times where he was slow to make a decision. And on a normal day, Ben White is not slow to make a decision. Ben White commits himself to challenges. Ben White commits himself offensively, but he wasn't just himself today. So I think I will just attribute that to the fact that he does not look fully fit. And I really hope that we can get him fit for the Liverpool game, because that's a very, very, very important game, and that could like define our season. So I think that's that for me for Ben White. For Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, I don't think we saw too much of them. For me, I'm going to give Saliba a 7 because sometimes I just saw that he was missing somehow. I don't know if it was just me, but he just felt like he was missing sometimes. I wasn't seeing him, and that is also due to the fact that we didn't actually have much to do defensively. So I'm going to give Saliba a 7. I'm going to give Gabriel Magalhaes an 8 because I mean, we didn't have much to do defensively, but at least I was seeing Gabriel Magalhaes, which is actually very, very, very is impressive to me. So I like the fact that he imposes in games. He makes himself visible in games. That is one of the reasons, Jonathan, I really enjoy watching Gabriel Magalhaes play. Next person on my list is Calafiori. Now, Calafiori is a very exciting player for me because offensively, I see that he does wonderfully well. Like today, you could see like he was giving like some passes, some crosses that he gave. We're actually wonderful to see how he could break the opponent's defense line. It's actually very interesting to see because that's something that Zinchenko brought for us the first season he came. So he's actually very good at that. I like the way he moves the ball forward. Offensively, I think Calafiori is brilliant. Bar the opportunity he missed in the first half, I think he is very, very brilliant offensively. But defensively, I feel like sometimes he lacks positional awareness. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a terrible player. I think he's a good player. So let this not be taken out of context. But sometimes when we are on the offensive and we lose the ball and he tracks back, maybe I don't know if he forgets that he's a left back, but he's always missing. And as a left back, your primary function, I think, is to be a left back, not to be a striker or be a midfielder. I understand the fact that he enjoys overlapping and he enjoys playing as the extra man in the midfield. But that positional awareness when we are defending, I think is very important because I think that's one of the reasons why most people say, oh, Zinchenko can't defend, because attacking wise, he's wonderful. But tracking back, it feels like, oh, he does us a disservice most of the times. So Calafiori, wonderful offensively. I think that he has a lot more to improve on when it comes to his defensive duties, his positional awareness. I think there's a lot more to do there. And for me, I'm giving Calafiori a 7. And I really hope that that injury was not serious because, hey, my goodness, hey, my father, we actually need him fit. Yeah, that's that with Calafiori. Next person is going to be Declan Rice. I still believe that Declan Rice has not hit the ground running. And no offense, I couldn't see him in the game. Like, I couldn't feel his presence in the game. It felt like he had a quiet game. And that is not the Declan Rice of last season. And he set the bar high last season. And I think that would continue to compare his first season until he hits the ground running. But he had a good game. He had a decent game. But he's still not imposing himself in games this season. He's not like, I don't know, but there's like an aura that comes with being Declan Rice, and that aura is not there this season. So I think it's something that maybe over time, maybe I think fatigue also. But aside that, he has not hit the ground running for me. I think that's one player that I feel like we need to see a lot more from this season. Now, the next person I'm going to talk about is my Agba baller, Thomas Partey. Like I said in the last episode, I think one player that impressed me and a lot of Arsenal fans this season is actually Thomas Partey, because Thomas Partey is fully fit and is balling. And I dare say this, that as long as Thomas Partey is fit, there's no player in that Arsenal team that is going to bench Thomas Partey. Be it Declan Rice, be it Mikel Merino. I don't think there's any player now at Arsenal that can bench Thomas Partey in that midfield, because my goodness, he's an excellent footballer. And he has his bad days. He has like maybe areas that he needs to improve on. He might not be as fast as, but like on the pitch, he reads the game in a very different way. And that's actually what I like about Thomas Partey. He gives those passes that you don't actually expect a defensive midfielder to make. I actually really enjoy Tom. As in, I've really enjoyed him play. And be it even when he's being moved to right back, you see that he actually he imposes himself on games. And that is actually really, for me, Thomas Partey gets like an 8.5 standard man of the match for me because he was very impressive. He was very impressive today. Another person that was actually impressive today is Gabriel Martinelli. This season, he has not been as brilliant as, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I don't really know, but he has not been as brilliant as, and there's a lot that he has to improve on. And there was a particular time where I was hearing the whole take of, oh, he misses Granit Xhaka. I understand that, but I don't think Granit Xhaka is Gabriel Martinelli's problem. Today he was very explosive. But one thing we can see from Martinelli is that taking on players and being explosive has never been his problem. His finishing, the final third. If only Martinelli can actually work on his final third, believe you me, we have like a Vinicius Junior 2.0 in the making. And I'm not even just trying to, I'm not just trying to make fun of it. I feel like he has so much potential that he has not tapped into. If only he could just work on that final third. Because, Arteta talked about in his post-match conference against Bournemouth on how if Martinelli converted that chance he had, we will not be in that position that we're in. And I strongly hold on to that because time and time again, he just gets lucky to be in that position where he gets those chances. But his conversion rate is poor. Is low. And kudos to him though. I'm not going to take away the fact from him that today that aside from the fact that he was explosive, he did well for the goal. He was the one basically that worked the goal. So I think he was very impressive. He has a lot more to do concerning his finishing, concerning his final third. Defensively, he does a lot of good work, if I'm being honest. He tracks back like a lot. He does a lot of good work. So for me, I think Gabriel Martinelli deserves like an 8. For me, he deserves an 8. The next person on my list is Trossard. First of all, before I started this episode, I thought of ripping into Trossard because I'm like, my boy, why are you standing over the penalty kick? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm glad that we won the game. I'm glad that the penalty miss was not like a deciding factor in the game. But most times okay, so let's go back to this. When there's a narrative that says, oh, Trossard plays better when he comes in from the bench, I would like to disagree. I feel like Trossard is a proper gunman. Trossard, if out of 10 opportunities, Trossard can score 5. Today was not the day for Trossard because even the opportunities he had, he didn't convert. And there are days like that. There are bad days in the office. It's understandable. But I think that he still needs to impose himself more in games. We talked about last episode how Arsenal has created 29 chances in the season and we have not converted 20 out of those 29 chances. We saw that again in this game where we are not converting. And I feel like that's like our major problem because, like I said, defensively, I think we are solid. We are going to be solid for years. But converting. And Trossard is one of those players that you expect that, like I said, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, he's converting. But today was not that day for him. The penalty, I think it was even a poor penalty. I'm still not happy with the fact that he actually stood over the penalty. But like I said, I'm glad that at the end of the day, we came with a 3 point. So for me, Trossard, I think I'm going to give him a 6 because it is what it is. Now, Kai Havertz. I have a lot to say about Kai Havertz because I'm impressed. Every game I watch Kai Havertz, I'm impressed. I'm actually sad that he didn't get to continue his run of scoring at the Emirates, but very, very impressed with him. He didn't score, but once again, you can see why Arteta actually starts Kai Havertz. Now, in every football team, you need a player that doesn't do too much, that does the simple things. And for Arsenal, it is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz does the basic things, picks the easiest passes. And sometimes it feels like, maybe he should have done it like this. Maybe he should have dribbled, he should have taken on his player. Kai Havertz does the simple things. And for me, I think that's what makes him a very good player. Because in a team that you have Gabriel Jesus, you have Martinelli, you have Odegaard that does all the skillful and skillful things. You need someone that is direct. And I think that's what Kai Havertz brings to the team. Kai Havertz does the simple things, he does the basic things. And that's what makes him an important player in this Arsenal team. So for me, I'm giving Kai Havertz a 7. Although he didn't score, I really, really wanted him to score. But Kai Havertz for me gets a 7. Next player, Gabriel Jesus. Like I said earlier, there's a lot to say about Udosi. I don't know if he's lacking confidence, but his final thought, his decision making, he just tends to do the most. At the end of the day, he's doing nothing. And I don't want to use this podcast as an avenue to rope into Gabriel Jesus. But whatever it is that he's going through mentally, I think that he needs to check it. He needs to go back to the basics, because the truth is that if Gabriel Jesus is even doing the basics, if he's doing the simple things, if he's if he's even doing what Kai Havertz is doing, then I don't think there'll be a problem. I think that there's still hope. There's still hope for him, but he's not getting it. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't know what it is with him. I don't know what he's overthinking, but he's not getting it for me. And for me, I just give Gabriel Jesus a 6. Let's not go into him. Mikel Merino came into the game for Ben White. There's really nothing much I can say about Mikel Merino. I think he's still finding his feet. I still feel he loses the ball a lot. And that's something that as a midfielder, a central midfielder, you should not be doing. I don't think he's great, because you lose the ball in those delicate areas of the pitch and we get pounced on. So for me, he's still adapting to the league. I give him a 6. Yeah, he made he made a couple of good passes and crosses, and I'm like, okay, I can see why he's actually in the Arsenal team, but there's still a lot. I feel like we have high expectations for him, and he has not hit it yet. So let's just see. But for me, it's a 6. Raheem Sterling, I don't know. Me personally, and no disrespect, but I'm beginning to feel like that Raheem Sterling buy was a no-no, because I don't know. It's just like a Gabriel Jesus situation for me. He's not here, he's not there. He can look explosive sometimes, but he's not giving anything. So it's a tricky situation. For me, it's just like a 6. Like, there's really nothing much to say. Like, I mean, like, what exactly can I say? There's really nothing much to say about him. So I think that's that for me. Lewis Kelly came in for Caliafori. He didn't really have much to do, but he had to be 100% focused. There was a particular period where it felt like maybe he wasn't focused, but he's young. You can see that he has potential. I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play a lot this season. For Lewis Kelly, I think I'd also give him a 6. I think that's basically every single one that played for us today. Yeah, like I said earlier, let's not focus too much on how we played, and let's just focus on the point, and let's just look forward to the Liverpool game, because I mean that game is going to be like a banger. I'm a little worried about the injuries that we have so far, because it's scary. It's scary to think that Saliba is not playing, and we don't know what is going on with Saka at the moment. Odegaard is not fully fit. So it's scary to see that important players in the team might not be around for that game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Also, I know like earlier today we saw that, Arsenal is not going to appeal Saliba's red card. And like it has kind of divided the fan base. We should actually appeal, because no, we have evidence of it happening to other people. But I'm of the opinion that if that's what the club has decided to do, let's let it go and let's move forward. Like, I'm not saying Saliba is not an important player, for he is, but let's move forward from it. Let's focus on the game. Yes, that's just it for me. Let's just focus on the Liverpool game. But once again, really excited that we got the 3 points today. Like, I'm really, really buzzing. I'm happy. I mean, I can go to work tomorrow and brag that, my club won. So we thank God for that. Also, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that watched to the end. Thank you for everyone that has watched our recent videos. Also, please, I'm very humble. Do well to like, subscribe, and also share. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Have a great week. Bye.